least is sensible of pain. All things invite to peaceful counsels and the settled state of what we are and where, dismissing quite all thoughts of war. Ye have what I advise.
Thrones and imperial powers, offspring of heaven, ethereal virtues. Are these titles now must we renounce, and changing style be called princes of hell? For so the popular vote inclines, here to continue, and build up here a growing empire? Doubtless while we dream, in strictest captives, though thus far removed, his multitude. For he, be sure, in height or depth, still first and last will reign. What sit we then projecting peace and war? War hath determined us, and foiled with loss inflicted. And what peace can we return, but to his power hostility and hate, untamed reluctance and revenge, though slow? Nor will occasion want, nor shall we need with dangerous expedition to invade heaven, whose high walls fear no ambush or siege or assault from the deep. What if we find some easier enterprise? There is a place, if ancient and prophetic fame in heaven err not, a new world, the happy seat of some new race called man, about this time to be created, like to us, though in power and excellence less, but favored more. Thither let us bend all our thoughts to find what creatures there inhabit, of what mold or substance, how endued, and with their power, and where their weakness, and how attempted best, by force or subtlety. Though heaven be shut, some advantageous act might be achieved, either with hellfire to waste his whole creation, and possess all as our own, and drive as we were driven the puny inhabitants. Or if not drive, seduce them to our party, that their God might prove their foe, and with repenting hand abolish his own works. This would surpass common revenge, and interrupt his joy, fated so soon. Advise if this be worth attempting, or sit here in darkness, hatching vain empires.
Well have ye judged, well ended long debate. Great things resolved, which from the lowest deep will lift us up once more in spite of fate, nearer our ancient seat. Perhaps in view of those bright confines, whence with neighboring arms and opportune excursion we may perchance re-enter heaven, or else in some mild zone purge off this gloom. The soft, delicious air shall breathe her balm. But first, who shall we send in search of this new world? Who shall we find sufficient? Who shall tempt with wandering feet the dark, unbottomed, infinite abyss? What strength, what art can then suffice? Or what evasion bear him safe? But I should ill become this throne, O peers, and this imperial sovereignty, adorned with splendor, armed with power, if aught proposed and judged in public moment, in shape of difficulty or danger, could deter me from attempting. Wherefore do I assume these royalties, and not refuse to reign, terror of heaven, though fallen. Intend at home, while here shall be at home, what best may ease the present misery, if there be charm or cure, to slack or respite or deceive the pain of this ill mansion. Intermit no watch against a wakeful foe, while I abroad through all the coasts of dark destruction seek deliverance for us all. This enterprise none shall partake with me. Whence and what art thou, execrable shape, that darest, though grim and terrible, advance thy miscreated front to thwart my way to yonder gates? Through them I mean to pass, that be assured, without leave asked of thee. Retire, or taste thy folly, and learn by proof, hellborn, not to contend with spirits of heaven.
Art thou that traitor angel? Art thou he who first broke peace in heaven and faith, till then unbroken? And in proud, rebellious arms drew after him the third part of heaven's sons, conjured against the highest, for which both thou and they, outcast from God, are here condemned to waste eternal days in woe and pain. And reckons thou thyself with spirits of heaven hell doomed, and breeds defiance here and scorn where I reign king? And to enrage thee more, thy king and lord, back to thy punishment, false fugitive, and to thy speed add wings, lest with a whip of scorpions I pursue thy lingering, or with one stroke of this dart, strange horror seize thee, and pangs unfelt before.
Oh, Father! What intends thy hand against thy only son? What fury, O son, possesses thee to bend that mortal dart against thy father's head? And knowest for whom? For him, who sits above and laughs the while at thee ordained his drudge, to execute whate'er his wrath, which he calls justice, bids. His wrath, which one day will destroy ye both.
So strange thy outcry, and thy words so strange, that my sudden hand prevented spares to tell thee yet by deeds what it intends. Till first I know of thee, what thing thou art thus double formed, and why in this infernal vale first met, thou call'st me father, and that phantasm call'st my son. I know thee not, nor ever saw till now sight more detestable than him and thee.
Hast thou forgot me then? And do I see now in thine eye so foul, once deemed so fair in heaven? When at the assembly, in sight of all the seraphim, with thee combined in bold conspiracy against heaven's king, all on a sudden, miserable pain surprise thee, dim thine eyes and dizzy swollen darkness, thy head flames thick and fast through forth, till on the left side, opening wide, like as to thee in shape and countenance bright, then shining heavenly fair, a goddess, armed, out of thy head I sprung. Amazement seized all the hosts of heaven. Back they recoiled, afraid at first, and called me sin. And for a sign portentous held me, but familiar grown, I pleased, and with attractive graces won the most diverse, thee chiefly, who full oft thyself in me thy perfect image viewing, becamest enamored, and such joy thou tookest with me in secret, that my womb conceived a growing burden. Meanwhile war arose and fields were fought in heaven, wherein remained, for what could else to our almighty foe, clear victory. To our part loss and rout through all the Empyrean, down they fell into this deep. And in the general fall, I also, at which time this powerful key into my hand was given, with charge to keep these gates forever shut, which none can pass without my opening. Pensive here I sat, alone, yet long I sat not, till my womb, pregnant by thee, and now excessive grown, prodigious motion felt, and rueful throes. At last this odious offspring whom thou seest, thine own begotten, breaking violent way, tore through my entrails that with fear and pain distorted, all my nether shape thus grew transformed. But he, my inbred enemy, forth issued, brandishing that fatal dart made to destroy. I fled and cried out, Death! Hell trembled at the hideous name, and back resounded from all her caves, death! But thou, O Father, I forewarn thee, shun his deadly arrow, neither vainly hope to be invulnerable in those bright arms, though tempered heavenly. For that mortal dint, save he who reigns above, none can resist.
Oh, dear daughter, since thou claim'st me for thy sire, and my fair son here showest me the dear pledge of dalliance had with thee in heaven, I come no enemy, but to set free from out this dark and dismal house of pain, both him and thee, and all the heavenly host of spirits that in our just pretenses armed fell with us from on high. From them I go, this uncouth errand soul, and one for all myself exposed, with lonely steps to tread the unfounded deep, and through the void immense to search with wandering quest a place foretold should be, and by concurring signs, ere now created vast and round, a place of bliss in the purlieus of heaven, and therein placed a race of upstart creatures, to supply perhaps our vacant room, though more removed, lest heaven surcharged with potent multitudes might have to move new broils. Be this, or aught than this more secret now designed, I haste to know, and this once known shall soon return, and bring you to the place where thou and death shall dwell at ease, and up and down unseen, wing silently the buxom airs, embalmed with odors. There ye shall be fed and filled immeasurably. All things shall be your prey.
The key of this infernal pit, by due and by command of heaven's all-powerful king, I guard. By him forbidden to unlock these adamantine gates. Against all force, death ready stands to interpose his dart, fearless to be o'ermatched by living might. But what owe I to his commands above, who hates me, and hath hither thrust me down into this gloom of Tartarus profound, to sit in hateful office, here confined, here in perpetual agony and pain, with terrors and with clamors compassed round. Thou art my father, thou my author, thou my being gavest me. Whom should I obey but thee, whom follow? Thou wilt bring me soon to that new world of light and bliss, among the gods who live at ease, where I shall reign at thy right hand, enjoying without end.
Only begotten Son, seest thou what rage transports our adversary, whom no bounds prescribe, no bars of hell, nor yet all the chains heaped on him there, nor yet the main abyss wide and erupt can hold. So bent he seems on desperate revenge that shall redound upon